Okay, so today our topic is basic concepts of economics, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics and macroeconomics are two important, very important basic concepts of economics. But before moving ahead, let us understand what is economics. So, economics is a social science. The origin of the term economics lies in the Greek word oikonomia, which means management of the household. Economics is referred to as Queen of Social Sciences by Paul Samuelson. Economics deals with the economic aspect of human behavior. It deals with human beings satisfy unlimited wants with limited means. Now, according to Lionel Robbins, economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. The key points or highlights of Robbins' definition are: wants that are ends are unlimited, means are comparatively limited, means are comparatively limited, means the resources available to satisfy our wants are limited but our wants are unlimited. Wants are gradable on the basis of priority, meaning wants, for example, if I am thirsty and hungry at the same time, I will grade my want according to the priority. So if I am thirsty, I am very thirsty, I will give thirst as my priority and then hunger. So accordingly I will grade my priorities, and means have alternative uses. Now, what is microeconomics? Microeconomics, as I have earlier mentioned, microeconomics is the study of household, small units, individual units. So according to Kenneth Bouldings, microeconomics is the study of particular firms, particular households, individual prices, wages, incomes, individual industries, particular commodities. So here is the definition of microeconomics. Meaning of microeconomics. Microeconomics is the branch of economics that considers the behavior of decision takers within the economy, such as individuals, households and firms. So in microeconomics, the particular firm decides, like individuals, households and firms decides the actual output as well as the price of something, and not the whole. Okay, now the microeconomics. Microeconomics is the social science that studies the implications of incentives and decisions and how they affect the utilization and distribution of resources on an individual level. So microeconomics studies everything at an individual level and not the whole. Microeconomics shows how and why different goods have different values, because different individual puts different prices and values. So microeconomics shows how and why different goods and have different values. It addresses how individuals and businesses conduct and benefit from efficient production and exchange, and how individuals can best coordinate and cooperate with each other. Microeconomics is individualistic in nature, meaning both the things, quantity and output, are decided by the individual units. Therefore microeconomics is individualistic in nature. Microeconomics means small. Micro means small. Therefore microeconomics deals with the behavior of the individual variables such as household, worker, firm, industry, etc. Kenneth Boulding's definition of microeconomics. Microeconomics is the study of particular firms, particular households, individuals, prices, wages, incomes, individual industries, particular commodities. To have a clear understanding, microeconomics analyzes the economic behavior of any particular decision-making unit, such as a household or a firm. It studies the flow of economic resources or factors of production from the households or resource owners to business firms, and the flow of goods and services from business firms to households. It studies the behavior of individual decision-making units with regard to fixation of price and output, and its reactions to the changes in demand and supply conditions. Hence, microeconomics is also called as price theory. Now, some basic concepts of microeconomics. First is want. Want means our desire to buy something. So want is difficult to define want in few words. In common language, want can be referred to as our need. In economics, want denotes a lack of satisfaction. Yes, because lack of satisfaction, our wants are unlimited and our resources to satisfy our wants are limited. This feeling enables the individual to satisfy his want. Human wants have grown in number for two basic reasons: desire for a better living due to inventions and innovations, and rise in population. Second is goods and services. Now, goods and services. Goods and services. Goods and services are popular terms of economics. Now, what are goods and what are services? Now, anything that satisfies human wants is termed as goods. Any resource which will satisfy our want are termed as goods. It has material existence. Example, chalk used by a teacher. Services also satisfy human wants but do not have any material existence. Like for example, teaching offered by the teacher. Is there any material existence? No, right? Third is value. Now, how can value be a component of microeconomics? See, value has two approaches in economics, that is value in use and value in exchange. Now, what is value in use and value in exchange? Value in use. Value in use refers to the worth of a commodity. In simple words, it is usefulness of a commodity. Usefulness of a commodity is known as value in use. Value in exchange. Value in exchange refers to the worth of a commodity that is used to exchange. That is, value in exchange refers to the worth of a commodity or a service expressed in terms of another commodity. Exchange. When this value is expressed in terms of money, it is called price of a commodity. Now, fourth is utility. Utility means use of a commodity. So, capacity of a commodity to satisfy a want is known as utility. Fifth is wealth. Wealth refers to anything which has a market value and can be exchanged for money. Now, sixth is personal income. Personal income is earnings done by a single person. Personal income, as the name suggests. So, definition or meaning of personal income becomes earnings received by a person from all the sources is called his personal income. Personal disposable income. Personal disposable income is that part of personal income which is left over after the payment of tax, such as income tax, wealth tax, etc. Macroeconomics. Now, the second main basic concept of economics is macroeconomics. So, macroeconomics. What is macroeconomics? A branch of economics that studies how an overall economic behaves. Like what we studied in microeconomics. Microeconomics is the study of a particular individual unit. But what is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is the branch of economics that studies an overall economy, how the economy behaves. Now, macroeconomic focuses on the performance of economies, changes in economic output, inflation, interest, and foreign exchange rates, and the balance of payments. Macroeconomics does not takes into account a single individual unit. It takes place as a whole. So, macroeconomics focuses on the performance of changes in economic output, inflation, price rise, price fall, interest, foreign exchange rates, and balance of payments. Poverty reduction, social equity, and sustainable growth are only possible with sound monetary and fiscal policies. Macroeconomics is a branch of economics that studies the behavior of an overall economy which encompasses markets, businesses, consumers, and governments. Macroeconomics examines economy-wide phenomena such as inflation, price levels, rate of economic growth, national income, gross domestic product, and changes in unemployment. So, to gain more information for macroeconomics, or in short, what is macroeconomics? So, macroeconomics, what does macroeconomics studies? Macroeconomics studies the behavior of any particular decision making unit such as household or a firm. But what does macroeconomics takes into account? What does macroeconomics studies? Macroeconomics studies the behavior of the economic system as a whole, or all the decision making units put together. It deals with the behavior of aggregates. Aggregates means total. like total employment, gross national product, national income, general price level, etc. So macroeconomics is also known as income theory. Which what is microeconomics known as? Microeconomics is known as price theory, whereas macroeconomics is known as income theory. Microeconomics cannot give an idea of the functioning of the economy as a whole. Similarly, macroeconomics ignores the individual preference and welfare. What is true of a part or individual may not be true of the whole, and what is true of the whole may not apply to the parts or individual decision making units. By studying for example, by studying about a single small farmer, generalization cannot be made about all small farmers, say in Tamil Nadu state. Similarly, general nature of all small farmers in the state need not be true in case of a particular small farmer. Hence, the study of both microeconomics and macroeconomics is essential to understand the whole system of economic activities. Now, let us discuss some basic concepts of macroeconomics. So, first basic concept of macroeconomics is, okay, before moving to basic concepts of macroeconomics, Kenneth Boulding have given a definition of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics deals not only with individual quantities as such, but with the aggregates of these quantities, not with the individual incomes, but with the national income, not with the individual prices, but with the general price level, not with individual output, but with the national output. So what this definition is telling us, that macroeconomics deals with aggregates, not only with individual income, but with the national income, not with the individual price levels, but with the general price level of the market as a whole, and not with the individual output, but with the national output. Now moving to some basic concepts of macroeconomics. First is national income. National income reveals the total economic performance of a nation. It is referred to as the total national income of a country. As the name suggests, national income. National income means income of the country as a whole and not the individual income. In economic sense, national income is the aggregate money value of all final goods and services produced in an economy during a year. Second is savings. Savings is that part of the income which is set aside to satisfy the future needs by foregoing current consumption. Saving, we all get salary. A part of salary is kept aside to meet our future contingencies. So that part is known as savings, to satisfy our future wants. In other words, saving is that part of income which is not spent currently on consumption. Third is investment. Investment refers to creation of capital assets through mobilization of savings. Example, machinery, equipment, etc. Fourth is trade cycle. Trade cycles are fluctuations in business. Inflation and deflation are trade cycles. So they are ups and downs in the overall economic activities. Ups and downs means fluctuations caused by inflation and depression respectively. Now what is inflation and what is depression? Inflation means a continuous rise in general price level, and depression is a continuous fall in overall prices and lowering down of economic activity in general. Fifth is economic growth. Economic growth. The term economic growth has a quantitative dimension. In simple words, economic growth means an increase in the real national income of the country over a long period of time. Last is economic development. Economic development is a wider term than economic growth. Economic development has qualitative dimension. Economic development implies economic growth plus progressive changes in certain important variables which determine well-being of the people, example education, health, etc. So what is economic growth? Economic growth is a quantitative dimension which in simple words, economic growth means an increase in the real national income over a long period of time. Economic development is a qualitative dimension. It implies economic growth plus progressive changes. Now, what is the difference between macroeconomics and microeconomics? Macroeconomics deals with larger units, microeconomics deals with smaller units. Microeconomics studies how individuals impact the price and general level of output, whereas macroeconomics studies how the economy as a whole determines the price and general level of output. So microeconomics is the study of how individuals and companies make decisions to allocate scarce resources. Microeconomics examines the economic behavior of individuals, families and businesses. Macroeconomics is the study of an economy as a whole. Macroeconomics looks at economies as they operate on a regional, national or even international level.